Yo, what's up, it's Fire here, back in the video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to run the gun Taysom Hill quarterback offense. This is mainly the QB blast offense. I know there's a couple of other plays in here that are decent, but I'm just going to go over the QB blast, maybe this Y lead read option as well. Those are the two usable plays, and that is why you run this offense. Now, right off the bat, when you come out in this formation, if I flick my formations over here, you guys see they're automatically going to put you in the Taysom Hill quarterback package. That's going to give me my third string quarterback, so you have to make sure that you flick that off. You never want to waste an initial down just heading out in that with your third string QB and your backup QB. So make sure you flick that off. And then also something that I'm not going to be able to do from practice mode is make sure you go to your coaching adjustments and put your ball carrier on conservative. I cannot stress that enough. Even though Lamar Jackson has the fast break ability and he has juke box, you might think, oh, I want to juke. He will fumble so much, and you guys will see how much I fumble in practice mode just from not being on conservative. Now, you're not really going to want to juke with your quarterback anyway because it's going to run his stamina all the way down, but I have a ton of tips with running this play that I will go over in the video. And yeah, first one, just make sure that you're on no package, and when I set my audibles, all I'm doing is X as Y lead read option and Y as quarterback blast. You could throw like stick in there instead of the RPO if you wanted, but typically I'm also running this on the wide side of the field, so I'm running my trips to the wide side. In this case, our wide side is going to be the right side, and I'm going to show you guys a couple of different defenses that I see when I run this as well. Those pretty much include like big dime, 3-4 odd, and yeah, this big nickel over G occasionally. So let's just head out in a cover 4 drop show cover 4 drop show 2. Actually, I see edge blitz a little bit more, so let's head out in that. I'm also going to respot the ball just to the wide side. I do have a lot of motion that I do with this offense. Try to keep him off guard. Right off the bat, though, the base way to run this play is just going to flick your right stick to the right. You guys see, initially, he's going to be running this to the left side. You want to flick it to the right because when you run this play, Lamar's going to get a little bit of a speed boost when you run it. So I can just snap the ball and easily get out to the outside, especially against this edge blitz 1. I'm actually almost going to be able to take that to the crib. So very important that you run it to the side with the blockers. Now, like I said, it's always going to take you on that side. And there, that was some bad stick. I kind of got in a bad spot just because Ingram ran away from the hole. But you can do this ID stuff. I usually like to ID either this guy or this guy in our case. But it's pretty dependent on what you want to do. Again, you guys see I'm going to fumble just because I'm not in conservative. Typically, Lamar's only going to fumble, or whenever he's only fumbled for me, is just whenever he takes an enforcer hit stick from like a Patrick Willis. So a way you can run this that I like to run is just motion that receiver on the outside all the way out. You guys see, get Lamar in open space, good things happen, especially going against users. Now, this is just the CPU, but there's usually a ton of user error that goes on when people try to run this. And like I said, I probably should have put a tight end out there, but Marquise Brown, he's good enough. Just motion him, spam A, and you guys see some glitchy stuff's going to happen. Look how easy it is to get to the outside. I know this is with no user, but even with, there would only be one person that you have to make miss. So simply just move that all the way to the outside and motion him in like so. So again, you could also motion Seth Roberts, but he's not going to get that auto snap animation. He might just move that guy over, and he pretty much does the same job. Obviously, Hollywood Brown's going to get instant shedded just because he is not a blocking receiver by any means. So I'll show you guys that again. Now, a lot of times when you motion Roberts, you might think that you want to run this to the left, but running to the right could still be the move just because there's nobody out there really. There's only that linebacker, and obviously your QB should be able to outrun the linebacker. In Ultimate Team, definitely get yourself a Lamar Jackson if you want to run this, or Micah Vick. Those are the only two ones that I think this offense is usable running with. But again, this is motioning Marquise Brown in. Could make that guy miss. A lot of times people are going to click on and just patient running. Now for these setups, you guys see I'm not really being patient, but if someone's like spreading out the outsides, they're like going to the outside, so they're setting up their run defense, pinch D-line, spread the linebackers, press, do all this stuff. You might just want to get patient on them one time just because you feel like you're not going to be able to get to the outside. So what I mean by that is just sit in the backfield a little, wait for the hole to open up. You guys see I actually almost ended up, I was one block away there from taking it to the house. Now I'm actually going to get on D-line just because that safety wasn't moving. But again, just if they're running like a run defense, you could even respot the ball. But look how easy that is. It's one block from Mark Ingram. And the good thing about the thing that is so overpowered about quarterback runs is that you have 10 blockers instead of 9. When you're running stretch, you have 9 blockers just because you're using your quarterback and your running back. For this, you're only using the quarterback, which means your running back can actually pick up a block. It makes it super difficult to stop these QB runs. That's why they're so overpowered and so frustrating to go against. So again, I just come out in like a run defense and patient running. I could still flip my play to the right if I wanted, but I'm just going to sit here back. I didn't right there just because the blocks developed so well, but I'll actually show you guys an example. Let's just come out here, snap the ball. I'm going to sit back, wait for the blocks to develop, and boom. I'm just one juke away now. Typically, I'm not juking anybody, especially people have enforcers at safety. I would typically just slide if I don't have any chance to escape. But again, excuse me for that. I'm a little bit sick, but just you could even run this to the left by motioning Marquise Brown over. That's typically what I do. Or you could still motion Seth Roberts, but you could still run this to the left. Boom. Middle's wide open, and I'm easily able to make a move. Again, I would slide to conserve my stamina, but since I can't go unconservative, I might as well juke in this case. So that's a super overpowered way to run it. Again, I could motion Seth Roberts over and run this to the left side if I wanted. Just patient running in the backfield. Now, I was trying to develop something, and you guys see, of course, I fumble on another regular tackle, but another great tip that I go over is just being patient. You don't want to jump to the hole. Like you guys see, you might run into something. I ended up running back and still picked up like 10-15 yards. So I feel like this is definitely more overpowered in regs, the way that he like jumps. So you might just want to be a little bit conservative. You guys see, wait for the blocks to develop. You don't want to just snap run into the blockers like this, or you do something like that, run into the blockers. You always want to sort of just relax. You want to wait for your blocks to develop. Let your offensive linemen do the work, and let's just go over this run D one more time. Run something like pinch D-line, spread linebackers, blitz all linebackers, press. You guys see, wait for Mark Ingram to pick up his block, and just do what you can in the open field and get down on the ground. Don't risk any fumbles. I'm going to head out in a couple of other defenses that people have tried to stop this against me. Let's just head into the big dime for now. DB Sink 2 Buzz and Cover 2 Sink are the only ones that I've really had people run against me and that I know of, but you definitely want to attack the middle of the field if someone's coming out. Look how open that is, even with his linebacker getting a block shed. Super open, and you really only have to make one person miss. Again, just be patient, wait for that guy to develop. I could still get to the outside, and Hollywood Brown's getting shedded every time, but if he just holds his block a little bit longer, we're gone for 6. Again, something I might do just to make the formation a little bit symmetrical, open up both sides, is just motion him over. You guys see, unfortunately, I was a little bit premature on that run, but by just running into him. But again, what I mean by making it symmetrical is that I can usually I'm trying to run this up the middle. I can either run up the middle and go left or go right. Here, you guys see I'm going left, and I have an extra blocker with Hollywood Brown. Again, I forgot to sub him out, but it's perfectly fine running this ball. And also, you can try to get to the outside against Big Dime. What I like to do is ID this guy just because he's going to be the one getting the block shed. There, I guess just nobody picked up that linebacker, so I probably should have ID'd him. I've actually never seen that happen, so just ID him, wait for him to get picked up, and look how much space you have to the outside. This is going to be so annoying for your opponent to go against. I've had people just come out in like every defense in their playbook trying to stop me in weekend league, and it's just super difficult for them. Again, you guys see me do that motion, and we're one block away from a touchdown. Again, we fumble on a regular tackle because I'm not conservative. But again, I could just come out here, get a little patient, and he actually does get the sheds there. So I guess when he's running that, he could get some block sheds. But again, I could try something like blitz all linebackers, press, contain, just a basic defense. People think that this is going to stop the blast, but it's actually not even going to come close. But you guys see right there, Lamar doing the job. Now, I kind of want to go over this read option. This is what I run when my players are a little bit tired. Just super good run. To keep them off guard, I actually end up picking like tons of yards, usually 25 plus. And especially if they're not going after the quarterback, you could end up picking up some huge yardage with that. There, I was accidentally in QB blast, but we end up picking the ball up. So this read option, again, It's a pretty decent play, like I said, especially if you have a running back. This is big dime, so obviously it's going to eat against it, but let's get into a big nickel over G. Also, another tip I have with running with Lamar every play, something you're going to want to do is make sure that he's at full stamina. You know he's at full stamina when he shows up as this dark blue color. This is how you know if he's like yellow, orange, even red. The way that you get your stamina back is head into goal line and just flick through the formations by holding the right stick to the right or the left. And that's just going to end up regaining his stamina. I'm not sure what it is about it. This also works for running backs in case you're running any other formation, your running back is tired. But Lamar's, just do this for like until 10 seconds on the play clock. Get back in your formation, and then you can eat out of this QB blast. Like I said, let's call it big nickel. Typically, a lot of people go to auto flip. I can't do it in this practice mode, but what you might want to do is just flip it, and you guys see that corner's not going to auto flip. They have that safety, the free safety that's brought down, and then we have one extra man on this left side, and that's just going to be the easiest touchdown of our lives, pretty much. We actually end up getting caught by a linebacker, but it's not going to matter. We end up taking that for 6. So again, this tip is going to be, again, if they come out in like nickel, big nickel, any 3-3-5, they're in big nickel over G. You always want to flip a play, and just flipping and motioning these receivers are going to make your opponent super frustrated. He's going to be like, just snap the ball already. I know I'd get annoyed when people do that, but again, super easy. Like, the pursuit angles in this game are so bad that it just makes running the ball super easy, especially out of this where you run QB blast and you can get like a speed burst. You guys see, look how patient we are, and we're still getting yardage on that play somehow. So I know this isn't the best defense, but trust me, I'm like 11-1 in weekend league running this offense. It definitely does work. So again, you could even just motion out. There, my offensive lineman somehow just missed that linebacker, but it's not going to work every time. You have to stick with it. Don't just run it on the first drive, you get stopped, and just quit out. And the good thing about this is that you can actually audible to like super overpowered formations. This tight offset tight end is definitely one of the best passing formations in the game. So you can end up saving like all your money plays out of this formation until you end up getting in 3rd and longs and just pick them up, keep running blast, and just honestly cycle. So super overpowered formation. Again, you guys see, you can do a ton with the motion. And I usually don't even end up holding my turbo button until I get past midfield. So I guess that could be another tip, because you don't want I like to just wait, and then once I see that hole, you burst right through it, hold right trigger, 2 sprint obviously, and then you are off to the races. So again, that's going to go ahead and do it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, please make sure to leave a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well for some more Fire Madden 20 content in the future, and also follow me on Twitter. I keep some updates on there. Make sure to go check that out, and turn on post notifications to be notified every single time I upload, and peace.